You're welcome.
Everyone carries a journal on the Camino. This one's mine. Here in the front you see the instructions if somebody should find it in my backpack. And this is the very first entry I made on my very first Camino 2018. After so many years, the darn thing is full now, but I thought I'd share some of my meditations.
Today I want to talk about mythology, and let me explain briefly what I mean by that. To me, mythology is just a series of stories we tell ourselves to help us better understand something. Often we apply a spiritual narrative to a physical act. For instance, the ancient Greeks saw a glowing orb in the sky, so they applied a spiritual narrative. They said it was Helios riding his fiery chariot across the sky. Now I'm going to share with you one of my myths. This is one that I created. It has to do with my father, and it has to do with the Super Bowl.
Once upon a time, I walked the earth in someone else's shoes.
So my father died on December 17th, 2012, and he went to heaven. And Jesus received him. He was holding a football. He says, yeah, I'm all excited about the Super Bowl. 49ers and Ravens. I've always loved the Super Bowl. You know what, Mr. Krause? You have been a really faithful servant. I think I'm going to let you win the next Super Bowl. Your favorite team. What is it? The Kansas City Chiefs. They will win Super Bowl 48. And my dad said, you know, Lord, that is such a generous thing for you to do, but I'm in heaven now. Give that gift to one of my kids down there. They're still on earth. Jesus says, you know, Gail Krause, that's just like you. To put your kids first, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to arrange it so the favorite teams of all of your kids get to win the Super Bowl. And then I'm going to let your team win the Super Bowl. How about that? Dad says, that sounds great. And Jesus says, well, there's one little wrinkle. I only control the even-numbered Super Bowls. Satan controls the odd-numbered Super Bowls. It's a little arrangement we made. Dad said, well, who's going to win the odd-numbered Super Bowls? And Jesus says, well, last year Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, and this year he lost the AFC Championship to the Ravens. And he got so angry he called up Satan and said, I want to win more Super Bowls. And they made a little deal. Satan said, you will win every odd-numbered Super Bowl until you retire. So the next year was Super Bowl 48, an even-numbered Super Bowl, one of God's Super Bowls. And who should win that Super Bowl but the Seattle Seahawks? Now, the Seahawks are the favorite team of my lovely wife, Lauren. When she was a teenager in Seattle, the Seahawks became a franchise, and Jim Zorn and Steve Largent came to her health class to speak to the kids about the team. And of course, she was a teenager, so she was love-struck. They were both very handsome men. But she has been a Seahawks fan ever since. So, of course, the Seahawks got to win their first Super Bowl because God ordained it. Next year, of course, was Tom Brady. Enough said. Year after that, the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl. That would be Super Bowl 50, an even one. And the Broncos were the favorite team at the time of my brothers and their wives. Next year, 51 was an odd-numbered Super Bowl, so, of course, Tom Brady got to win that Super Bowl. Next year, Super Bowl 52 was an even-numbered one, so, of course, one of the teams God ordained, which was the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that is beloved by me, they're my favorite team, they got to win that Super Bowl. Next year, of course, Tom Brady, Super Bowl 53. And then finally, all the kids are taken care of, so Dad's favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs, got to win Super Bowl 54. And finally, Tom Brady wins Super Bowl 55, an odd-numbered Super Bowl. Now, I know this is just a myth, it's just a story. Here is what the myth tells me. These are things I choose to believe, and the myth reinforces it. And this is how myths work. Number one, I believe there's a God. The myth reinforces that there is a God. Number two, my father was such a devout follower and servant of this God, I choose to believe that he got into heaven because of it. Number 3, I choose to believe in a God that likes us to feel good, wants us to be happy, joyous, and free, and would even do something as simple as a Super Bowl. I don't know if God really cares about football, but I believe God wants us to be happy. The Super Bowl is just a metaphor for that. And number 4, I choose to believe that my Father, when offered a gift, would say, give it to one of my kids. And let's just go one step further. I choose to believe that if my Father said, give this gift to my kids, Jesus would say, I'm going to give the gift to all of your kids and then give it to you. That's just how I tend to want to believe the universe works. So that's my myth. Now, if you look at the events after Tom Brady's last Super Bowl, I could actually extend the myth. This one doesn't create any more meaning in my life. It's just something fun that I like to do. So let's imagine. Tom Brady, of course, won Super Bowl 55, and then he retired. So that, of course, broke his contract with Satan. Satan was none too happy because it ruined some of his bets. Shortly thereafter, COVID happens, and Jesus becomes very distracted with COVID. Has to take care of the earth because COVID is... I think actually Jesus taking care of COVID would look more like this. Anyway, Jesus is busy with COVID, and he's forgotten that he gave my Father power to choose Super Bowls. So my Father squeaked in 2 more Super Bowls for the Chiefs. One of them was at the expense of my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Well, Jesus figures this out, and he catches my dad, says, all right, enough of that. Now I have to go out there and make things right. So what does he do? He has my favorite team beat Dad's favorite team in the next Super Bowl. And then he goes one step further, and he lets my wife's favorite team win another Super Bowl the very next year. Now, if this pattern holds true, that would mean that the Broncos should win the Super Bowl next year, except my brothers have become bandwagoner Chiefs fans, so who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, that's my myth. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day.
Don't let me hear you say life's taking you nowhere. There's too much left for you to do, and oh no, there's too much left for you to do, and oh no, there's too much left for you to do, and oh no.